always a mistake to think of money as a pool to be viewed versus a tool to be used. It works so much better. It's like, have you ever been to Israel? Because when you go to, have you ever been to Israel? If you go to Israel, it's amazing because at the north of Israel, you have the Sea of Galilee. Then you have the River Jordan that flows all the way down to the south, and it flows into the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea is interesting because fish can live in the River Jordan, fish can live in the Sea of Galilee, but fish can't live in the Dead Sea. Now, why can't fish live in the Dead Sea?
Who's heard Myron Golden?
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Beyonce concert tickets or 1 hour with Myron Golden to make money?
Myron Golden session!
Myron Golden session. Woo! Easy.
No question.
That's a business. Y'all quick with it.
In the Dead Sea. Well, that's right. It's a salt sea, but it's a heavy mineral deposit. But here's the reason. Because the difference between the Dead Sea and the Sea of Galilee has inlets and outlets. The Dead Sea only has an inlet. It has no outlets. And when your money doesn't have an outlet, it becomes stagnant and nothing can live in there and nothing can reproduce.
So let's break this down in financial terms because there's a balance sheet. A balance sheet is simply your assets versus your liabilities. That's your balance sheet. Okay? And most people are taught that net worth is this big indicator of wealth. But here's the thing. Nobody knows what your net worth is. And you can't buy anything with it. Yet so many people try to protect it at the expense of building the one that matters, which is your human life value, not your property value. So if you invest in yourself first to grow the exponential skill sets that allow you to serve, solve problems, and add value, you'll actually grow that balance sheet exponentially greater. But if you only look at the
Myron Golden's $350,000 12-month coaching program, so we actually had made over $30,000, I think about $34,000 to be exact, just from book sales. Those in the next 30 days converted into an extra $350,000, $350K in sales from the book, because that brings this total up to about if my maths is correct, 3.28 million.
But if you only look at the balance sheet, that's like the Dead Sea. You have to look at the income statement. That's your income versus your expenses. And if you're in a mindset of, I've got to just scrimp and save, you start to minimize expenses, but there's more than one type of expense. And the expense most people miss is a productive expense. There are no budgets for productive expenses. A billionaire isn't going to say, what's our budget for this? They're going to say, in the command center, what allows us to grow this? And while it's growing, let's keep going with it. And a budgeter would say, well, I've got to cut back, I've got to reduce, and no one shrinks their way to wealth. So even if someone
has.
No, and even if someone were to have millions of dollars in their bank account, if they got there through the habit of sacrifice, they don't flip a switch one day and say, now I'm abundant, I'm finally going to enjoy my money. They continue to think, what if I outlive it? What if the market doesn't perform? What if interest rates change? What happens with taxes? Because they're not in control of the outcome of their income.
We're not in control of the outcome of their income. Say that.
We are indoctrinated to accumulate while institutions accelerate. Accumulation is...
And they accelerate with our money.
Exactly. So when they say it takes money to make money, it doesn't take their money to make money. It takes your money for them to make money. When they say high risk equals high return, you take the risk, they get the return. We'd have a revolution overnight if people had to write the check for the expenses that come out of their funds rather than just have it automatically taken out without their knowing. Because people go, wait, you mean I lost money and I'm still sending you a check? Why? But we've lost accountability. Because if we get stuck in net worth mindset,
listen to what he says. He is the done.
Look up how much he makes a year. I need to see this. 40 million?
Yeah, 40 mil right there.
I don't think that's how much he makes a year.
Find it. Yo, this guy has people pay him $350 just to sit. Like, his booking fee is crazy. So Myron Golden is not. Don't play with
a
him.
month?
Yes.
Oh hell no! What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Man?
That's what you're doing. This guy.
mindset, we neglect the accountability of cash flow. An income statement is about cash flow. And the way that we look at it is, how can we get our assets to create income so that our money's having babies while we're sleeping, right? But where people get really confused is they think, I've got to minimize my liability so I have less expenses. But guess what? That's not true with a productive expense. The productive expense that most people don't take the leap towards is investing in themselves. Because they go, well, what if I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't work out? Well, I could just have that money show up in the bank account. And all of the indoctrination is retirement plans, just fund that. And then one day, someday, when you're too old to enjoy it, you can finally enjoy it. But you don't enjoy life along the way. And if you don't enjoy life along the way, you cannot be wealthy.
Well,
because wealth is about one thing, your ability to be present. And when you're present, you can connect, you can create, you can listen to God, you can do all the things that matter. But in finance, they're saying, if you'll just do the things that you hate now, you'll be able to live a life that you love one day, but one day and someday never comes.
It never comes.
And so this accumulation doctrine says, hey, wealth is a function of how much money can you set aside? And when they tell you it takes money to make money, I want you to realize it doesn't take money to make money. It takes relationships and ideas. It takes value and exchange. Then they tell you high risk equals high return, but you actually get returns by learning how to mitigate risk through knowledge and skill. And then they tell you in it for the long haul, But you don't have to wait for the long haul if you become financially independent, which is how do I get my assets to create income? How do I make sure that my liabilities are as productive as possible? Because you don't get assets without liabilities.
Oh, that's so good.
You don't get assets without liabilities. You don't get a home without property tax.
Right, because the law of polarity makes it so. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every negative, there's a positive. Every positive is a negative. So you have to be aware of that. So if you know that, you can literally make adjustments to what you're doing for what you just said.
What's up, guys? My name's Eileen Wilder. I'm a best-selling author. I live in Houston, Texas. 1 year ago, I got the opportunity to meet Myron Golden. He talked to me about perhaps working with him, hiring him as a coach. But here's the thing. I had never started working with a coach that was at his level and actually that charged as much as him. And when he told me what it would cost to sort of get involved, I almost had a heart attack and sort of fell over on the couch. But when I started thinking about my goals, and particularly I started thinking about my family and the legacy that I was trying to leave, I started weighing what the cost of inaction might be. Like how much longer was this going to take for me to figure this out? I'd already spent so much money. In fact, to be completely honest, my family and I had already spent probably over $50,000 just trying to figure this stuff out. And I wanted to stop wasting time and I wanted to get it done. So Myron invited me to this opportunity. Within just a week of working with him, I had made more than I had previously, like that entire year. And then I went on to not just have 6-figure months, but 6-figure days, and even like 6 figures in a matter of hours at working with him. So here's my point. If you're wondering if Myron is like the right fit for you or his program is the right stuff, I just want to put you at ease and let you know, like, you found him. Like, you found the guy, you found the opportunity. This is going to change your life. And if you have the opportunity, the privilege of even getting to work with him in any way, shape, or form, do it.